good to go. Monday.
Hello.
I have to say, before we even fire off, I freaking love D-Live. I have grown to love D-Live. I've been in it with 412 these last few days because he's been running stuff over there. If you get in there and you play around like people with their emojis, I'm sorry. I just had to say that because I'm just watching the Trump rocket waves. Oh my God. Anyway, hi to the D-Live and everybody on YouTube too. I dropped the link to D-Live. We're going to show you today how to use it. So go ahead, guys. Say your hellos.
Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing? YouTube, D-Live, Twitch, wherever you may be. How we doing on this Sunday afternoon? Now 9 days out from the election.
Eleccione. I'm here drinking coffee at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be mad.
Oh, I drink coffee all day, dear. You're not alone. Do you want to tell them why, or you want to leave that a secret?
Wait, what?
It's got Kahlua in it.
Exactly. Listen, Pixels is our youngest team member. He's in his early, well, about almost mid-20s at this point.
I'm going to be 25
Saturday night
soon.
last night.
Yeah, 25 soon. I don't like the thinking of that because, like, the next time I think about it, I'll be like 35.
Oh, what fun it is to be young.
Now you grow age, you get finer as you. It's like wine.
Yeah.
That's what I like to look at it as. Don't worry about all the aches and pains. It just comes with it. Oh my God, D-Live is so hilarious. I'm telling y'all, we're gonna go over some news and what we're gonna do today. After a little bit, is we're gonna follow 412's lead and kind of some of the stuff he's been doing, which is if there's after a little while, we're going to switch over to D Live. We're going to show you guys how to use it, who's in YouTube and anywhere else first. And then we're going to go over there and I'm going to share the screen and I will walk you through like some of the stuff, how to use it. Because I know it's new to a lot of you and you've never used it before, but it's almost addicting. Like I've been starting these like lemon parades for 412 and where I'll post like a lemon and then do like the D Love, like the heart family. And like me and if it's Puppy Cat and like Suji's in there and like Thumper is in there, it'll just start a train of them. It's been fun. And then we'll have to play the Biden song.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is you've bankrupted the 5x5 account of lemons and donating to WTPI in the last 4 days.
And listen, I had to cash out my lemons. Breaking will tell you, I had to cash out the 5x5 lemons, so I put them in the money for the people here because I looked up one day and I was like, oh my God, I'm giving all my lemons to 412. Well, there goes his donations for the month.
It's all circular logic. It
Your
all comes back
donations
around.
came in lemons, son. You know what I mean?
It all comes back around.
Yeah, I can't do this to my crew.
You guys know what I love about D Life? I love the fact, like the gifts in the chat. Why can't we have that here? Like that is amazing, and people have gotten so creative with those. Like that freaking Antifa guy with his feet on fire doing his little dance. That's my favorite.
Did you see they just put it in there? Who just put it in there? Somebody just put it in there. Who was it? Can I go back up that far? Oh no, it's too far up. Somebody did just put it in there. I just saw it scroll by. But I think that's what makes it fun for people. And thank you for the ice creams and the lemons. And like, trust me, look, there it is. Annie and BJ. BJ's cool too. He's been in there with me. Oh, there's Light Switch. She's cool. Listen, I've met a lot of cool people in D Live as well. And that's what they'll do. One person will post a GIF and then like everybody will follow the train if they have it and post it. It's like its own little language. I don't know. It's just fun. We're going to teach you guys how to use it. Because if you've seen what's been happening, it's hilarious. We did the drinking night. We did the drinking night game over here that day. We was clanging like beer mugs. Pixel should be there for those. But it was it's just fun. I promise you guys, it gets addicting. It really is addicting. So I had to cash out the 5x5 lemons. I was going to spend all of my posts lemons. They're not going to appreciate that. So yeah. Anyway, all right. What do you want to talk about for a while?
Well, speaking of addicting, I wonder if there are any fresh Hunter Biden memes out there from yesterday's shenanigans.
Man, if they can turn around that fast, kudos to the Anons that do that stuff. Holy cow. I dread to think what sort of memes or animated GIFs may come from said video yesterday. Folks, if you have not seen it, it's pretty lewd, even with the blurred out sections, if it is indeed the said person.
Listen,
here you go, guys.
I've got the link. It's a warning. I'm going to tell you something. I hope you're not. Oh my God. Okay. Good Lord, you about gave me a heart attack. I was like, God, don't show that. Listen, it leaves nothing for the imagination. Okay. It leaves nothing for the imagination. You need to share that GIF. That's hilarious. I wish we could make that. We can make that a D Live image. Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yes.
You know how much that would be shared in D Live? Oh my God. I got my Hunter Biden one. Hang on, I'll give it to them out there. No, I got my one Hunter Biden one. That's it. Where he's writing, where's Hunter? POTUS is. Looks like he's writing it on his forehead.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I lead off with the story that was just out here a little bit ago. I don't know if you guys happen to catch this yet or not, but apparently, as usual, the gaff bag Joe had a bizarre Freudian slip and brags about assembling, quote, the most extensive voter fraud organization in history. So Veep Biden suffered from either a senior moment or a Freudian slip on Saturday when he told Pod Save America host Dan Pfeiffer, longtime Obama aide, that his campaign has assembled the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Apparently, he must not have had his earpiece in like he did at the debates, I take it. Says, what's your message to the folks who have not yet voted or do not have a plan to vote? And part 2, for the 50 million Americans who've already voted, what can they do over the last 10 days to help make sure that you are the next president of the United States? Pfeiffer asked Biden. Biden returned word salad at first, saying, well, first of all, what really rankles my opponent is I say that the thing that bothers him most is he's not a patch on Barack's genes. You get all that, folks? I mean, Barack was one hell of a president. And I tell you what, man, what an honor it was. I think you guys believe it, too, just to serve with him. I mean, incredible honor. And I'm not being solicitous. I really mean that. He had more integrity in his little finger than most people have in their whole body. And he had a backbone like a ramrod. Has one.
What?
Carrying on. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for the President Obama's administration. Before this, we have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. What the president is trying to do is discourage people from voting by implying their vote won't be counted. It can't be counted. We're going to challenge it and all these things. If enough people vote, it's going to overwhelm the system. You see what's happening now? You guys know it as well as I do. You see the long lines in the early voting. You see the millions of people who have already cast a ballot. And there we get the quip. I don't know. You want to play it?
I posted in Zoom chat Kayleigh McEnany tweet, and it's got the clip of him saying that.
All right.
It's only 24 seconds, so you can play it straight through.
Yeah, go ahead.
You go for it.
Oh,
unless you need us to. Oh, unless you need me to, because I know sometimes your bandwidth. Is that easier for me to do? Okay.
Nope, I got you.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Second,
it's like, can we call that a gaffe? Because he pauses and thinks about what he's going to say. And also, I'm kind of noticing he's getting some like Pelosian speech slurs there.
I know. Well, go ahead.
I'll go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say that I'm just going to show the one article that kind of falls into this trap that I brought up. It says, like, what will our conversations even be? Saturday Night Live skewers Trump haters. My entire personality is hating Trump. But if they don't think they're going to have something to talk about, if he didn't, which he's not going to win, but let's just say hypothetically if he did, like, you don't think you have enough things to you just stated it all. You just take his transcripts of what he said and try and repeat them. But it says it basically they're roasting themselves. They say, what am I going to do? If Biden wins, this is a fresh start. It says, I'm worried too, because if Donald Trump isn't president, then what are we going to talk about? Like, what will our conversations be? Because the only thing I've talked about for 4 years is Donald Trump. Every single day I tell someone, can you believe what Trump just said? My entire personality is hating Trump. If he's gone, what am I supposed to do? Focus on my kids again? No, thanks. So I don't know what's going on even in this late night world, but come on now. I argue with my dad every day about Trump. Before this, we hadn't spoken in years. I used to watch civil rights videos and wonder what it would be like to live in those times. No thanks. Now, thanks to Trump, I get it. like they just went on. I'm really worried for Rachel Maddow. Like, what is she even going to talk about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think probably what they're feeling is the cancel culture. Once they come for me, then they come for thee. We've seen it happen. Everywhere from Hollywood to the media to music artists, that if you don't step in a certain line, then they're going to try and cancel you because they send their mob of about 300 keyboard warriors after you, and they're feeling it. They're feeling this tumultuous time that they created, and they're like, oh, I don't like this. This is my thoughts on it. Thanks for the ice creams and lemons, guys. Trust me, I will be in there with you. I hope y'all get used to D Live because we're watching what's happening. And And I hope you guys will appreciate how much fun it is over there if I just kind of give you a little tutorial about how it works. But I'll let us get through a couple more news articles first if you have anything else you want to bring up. I have a few, but
I've got a headline here. I won't open the article, but I just thought it was kind of funny. It was the first headline I saw today. NYPD investigating video of officer shouting Trump 2020 on loudspeaker.
Outstanding.
Really?
Because we got to investigate that. That's oh boy.
Well, I just saw this on Gab before showtime here. Says there's an insurgency popping up in Northern California, and you can see a string of vehicles with flags and all that all the way up and down this particular highway. Now, I don't know what was going on around here yesterday, or if this was a national thing that was going on yesterday. Obviously, POTUS was out doing 3 rallies yesterday. In the meantime, around here, I left for the afternoon, took off into town, and I kid you not, I think I saw probably about 12.5 cars now with Trump flags and all that honking, carrying on, and look in my rearview mirror, see another truck, big jacked up truck with a pair of flags hanging off the back, and they're just hooting it up and everything. So I don't know if yesterday was basically a small town parade day for POTUS, and everybody had Trump flags and everything else. The yellow snake flags and that come and take it flags, you name it, all out in force or what. But you guys see any of that around your respective parts yesterday?
I'm going to show you. I had this because when you were talking, it made me remember that Crystal had posted something on her Twitter, and while I was going to look for that, this is what she has reposted. Trump rally underway in Brooklyn, New York. This is 6 hours ago. I don't know if I probably don't have my audio, but you can see the Trump flags and a line of cars. Yeah, look at all that Trump. So, and then it says again, Brooklyn, New York. This is we are herded into Borough Park. This is again more pictures from New York. So apparently they're all out in New York as well today. But she had posted something about Illinois. She said she had put her dogs in the car and they were on their way somewhere. And she said that there were Trump flags and people everywhere. So I can't, it's probably on too far down. You don't want me to keep scrolling, but I remember she had posted something about it. But at the end, Andy Tebow gets knocked out. Oh, that's still going on in Portland. Notice nobody's talking about what's going on in Portland. And it's still happening, by the way. But yeah, anyway, she posted something about Illinois, that it was happening in Illinois. Look, of talk of Hunter Biden's laptop, including his group holding a BLM sign. Now, they're talking about apparently the Hunter laptop. Even Black Lives Matter. So, yay, whatever.
Biden laptops matter.
I know.
Wait.
Well, they're just trying to suppress the news about it. Give me a break.
Can you bring your screen back up? I thought
sure.
I saw Bon Jovi there.
Yeah.
Also, Adeline Marie Robinson. Hello. Waving hello to you as well. Look at that. Bon Jovi was featured at Joe Biden's rally in Pennsylvania. He played for 12 people and 7 pumpkins.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you caught that. As you told me to bring it back up, I'd scroll down a little bit more. And this is Representative Stephen Smith says, literally everyone except the crazy white liberals and their brainwashed victims. Like, look at this.
Hell yeah.
So anybody that brings up those polls, look what they're saying about the polls. Oh, Biden's got it. I'm like, okay, step outside your front door.
The 538 yesterday, I don't know if you guys happen to catch this. They were one of the prominent ones in that back in 2016 that were saying Hillary has got this, and there's like 90% chance that HRC has got this in the bag, leading up to election day, probably about a week or so out. So mimicking exactly what happened in 2016, and not to be outdone, they just lapped themselves up with all the various polls net out there, as fraudulent as they are, and skewed numbers, everything. And they put together this little deal, just like they did in 2016. 538 puts out Biden, 87% chance that he's got this thing in a bag. Now tell me, based on what we just saw, via all the Twitter feeds and everybody posting about Trump flags and parades and everything else, and yet Bon Jovi plays to 12 people and 7 freaking pumpkins, and he's got
one better
10% chance. I cry bullshit.
I got a better one. Listen to what I know. Y'all seen this one. You had to have seen this one. I gotta make sure I picked the right one because I have D Live up too. There it is. Did you see the one with Cher? Did you see this?
No.
Okay, listen. She's. I don't know if Biden-itis is catching. I don't know. Here you go. Here's this Jim.
And who do we want to win?
Brrr. I don't know
what language was that?
Okay, she falls down. She goes,
all right, I'm ready. And then we'll talk. And then I'll sing. And then I'll wave goodbye. And then that will be it.
okay.
What is going on with these people, dude? They're totally whacked out.
Kuru. That's what I'm saying. Kuru.
The derangement syndrome is strong on that one.
Does her voice always sound like that too? It sounds kind of deep.
Yeah, Cher's always had a deep voice. Listen, she's a great singer. I even loved her like in Witches of Eastwick, and she was in another movie I can't remember the name of. She even played a decent actress. If you've never seen Witches of Eastwick, but Cher was in it. She was part of Three Sisters. What was his name? Jack Nicholson was in it. Some of the older people here about remember that movie, but it was a great movie. But yeah, like somebody in D-Live Light Switch said TDS. It is nuts, but it's like these people have lost their minds, man. I don't know what's going on, but she made no sense. She was like, who do we want to win? And did you notice? Yeah, it is a good movie, Mojo. I loved it. But if you notice, whenever she said that, it was like, brrr. I didn't hear like nobody scream Biden. I just heard brrr. Like
yeah, somebody in chat said it sounded like she had like jaw lock or whatever. I'm seeing here, I'm gonna have some fun with this one. I'm seeing here from the New York Times, Pope Francis appoints first African-American cardinal, and I'm waiting for that lawyer or whatever that couldn't figure out the coyote thing to go, what do you mean? Cardinals are red.
That's it. Go Dog Go said it. Moonstruck. That was the other movie. Thank you. That's the one I'm talking about with the little girl and that whole drowning thing. Yeah, I remember that. But I'm older. I'm 44. So yeah, I remember those movies. They were really good.
So is that the particular cardinal one of the 13 that he appointed?
He appointed 13? Wow.
Apparently there were 13, yeah. And I'm just wondering if that is the old symbolism showing its hand here, because now, I don't know if you happen to see this in recent days, that the Pope is now really advocating for same-sex marriages.
Yeah, I had something on that. Hang on. Let me see if I have it.
Yeah, Bible be damned.
Yeah,
Can we call him a pope anymore at this point?
He never technically was, because a Jesuit theoretically is not supposed to be able to hold the spot of pontiff. But then again, this is Catholicism, and well, I'll just leave it at that.
Here, this is what I saw. Confusion and error. Cardinals and bishops come out against papal comments on same-sex civil unions.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most. One of the most. Probably one of the most.
Oh, is my audio sharing?
Yes, it's always sharing, so I had to mute.
No, it's not. You just need to tell me. Okay, let me tell you what's going on. Whenever I share a video and I share my audio, I have to click a button. And when I do that, apparently for some reason, it reverbs back to the other guys and they hear themselves. And Braken's usually the one that gets the most of it. So whenever he goes, I know what's happening. So I have to click off.
What I was trying to say out of all that is this is probably the most political pope and that of the worldly system, I think, that has ever existed out of the chain of pontiffs and that have existed. Pushing for climate change, pushing for same-sex civil unions, pushing for this, that, and the other, all worldly concepts. And yet this guy is supposed to be, quote unquote, the Holy See.
Yeah, I'll drop this. To speak of a homosexual union in the same sense as the conjugal union of the married is in fact profoundly misleading, because there can be no such union between persons of the same sex. Burke continued. In what regards the administrations of justice, persons in the homosexual condition, as all citizens, can always make use of the provisions of law to safeguard their private rights. So, I mean, this is where, it's a source. Anyway, I'll drop this because I just saw this when Breaking mentioned it. I didn't really have time to read it. I'll drop it out there for you guys to read if you want to. So I just wanted to have something to back that up. But yeah, I didn't even know he'd said that. But remember, he did the whole coexist. He's trying to do the coexist. I don't know how you could possibly think that the Christian faith or even the Jewish faith could align and coexist with people that call us infidels. Oh, thanks. MTC, what a name, MTC for the diamond and D-line. But yeah, so I don't know how you can ever think that when a religion calls for you to be destroyed, how you're supposed to think that they're going to be your friend. I don't know. Just a thought. Yeah. And I'm of the belief, what's that guy's name? He's a Shiite, I believe. He's really popular on Twitter. I know that Candace Owens has interviewed him, and he's a Muslim, but he will come out against the doctrine that says that we can't accept one another. He's awesome. And hey, Christianity's gone through its own growth period, and Christians don't judge everybody as much as they used to, and it's live and let live, and you'll be the one that has to answer whenever you die to God. That is your journey to take. And if they could educate themselves in that religion as well and say, listen, there's things just like in the Bible that were that they're not that great. They're, just be honest, they could do the same thing with the is it the Torah, then fine. I encourage that. Go for it. We all can grow. But when you poll, I think it's in London, what is it, 50% of the population still believe that homosexuals would be thrown off the top of the building. I'd like the Pope to tell us how that's going to coexist with each other, because I don't think the LGBT community would appreciate that. And I'm off my soapbox. I don't know.
Well, I've got a story here about Hillary Clinton, and it's making me think maybe change of batter.
Change of batter?
What the hell?
Change, remember the
pitcher catcher batter?
Change of batter, as in change of candidate.
Oh, I see. All right.
Get your mind out of the gutter there.
Well,
you're the one posting the pictures of cup bottles and feet, buddy.
Sorry, folks.
Well, here from Breitbart, Hillary Clinton says she was born to handle the coronavirus pandemic. First of all, the coronavirus pandemic is over, and I'd like everyone to start acting like it's over. But is she trying to, in the light of all these Hunter Biden and Joe Biden revelations, do you really think that they could switch out the candidate this late, 9 days from the election? How would that work even? Is she just running her mouth here, or does this mean something?
I think it's probably a little late, because think of all the ballots and that have already printed, how many votes have already been cast and all that stuff. It'd be an arduous task for the secretaries of states of all the various states to turn around and reissue ballots. It would create such upheaval.
Yeah, there'd probably have to be a special election or something further on down the line.
Oh no. My God, we did it. Calvin, 111 and D Live chats. We made it. I've been trying to have this goal of 1,000 subs over in D Live for the last 3 days, and we just freaking hit it. And you have to have achievements in D Lives in order to have the little badge where you can become a channel member. And thank you, Calvin. He's 5,000 subs! Exclamation! Thank you guys so much. That even over here that are in YouTube and that have went over there and subbed for us just to get to that number, because it's like an achievement thing with D Live, which is cool with me.
It's like a rank up for the channel. Basically, you move up to the 3rd tier, and for those that follow We the People Insider, we're knocking on the door of moving up to the global partnership level on that side, which is the highest tier you can get. So 5x5 is not too terribly far behind that with the 3rd tier and being able to quote unquote rank up. So kudos to those that have followed. For the followers over there, yes, it does afford you more things and all that good stuff. So
and
so
Gunnar
awesome.
Gunnar Olson out there in the YouTube chat is asking if D Live costs money, and the answer is no.
Oh.
You can donate to us on D Live, but you don't have to pay money to watch our content on D Live.
Yeah, and I'll just show you here because it's a good example. Somebody just he cute. Oh, thanks, he cute. Just dropped us a diamond. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to just show you now. This is that link to D Live that I've been dropping out there. Okay, this is what we just made 1,000 subs. This shows you how many people are currently watching. We have 145 people in D Live. This is where he cute. Thank you, he cute. Dropped us a diamond. This is why I had to deplete my money over here because I was making these lemon parades for everybody else, and I'm like, I can't be doing this. This is my people's money. I share the donations here. So, but how you donate is you go pick, like you can either do it here with your lemon, ice cream, diamond, Ninja Genie, Ninja Net. And guys, it's pretty cheap. I mean, 88 lemons cost $1.54. Okay, so I'll show you that. If you get up here and get the lemons, see 88, select amount, 88 is $1.53. So it's not like it's every lemon is like $1. I heard somebody say that. Okay, with that. Then you can go, I think you can do it here as well. Okay, see, I'm the moderator here, so it's different for me. But if you, how these people are, see, they're donating lemons and ice creams. Thanks, guys. We made it 1,000, so it feels nice to like celebrate it. But if you push on your emoji right here, you see the stickers that pop up. And see, here's all my stickers, okay? And I'm going to get rid of one of them. If somebody out there will please steal it, I'll do my clanging mugs, okay? So now I'll show you. I'll delete it because I have 20. I can't show you how to grab one unless I get one of mine. Get rid of one of mine. Okay, thank you. Spectre did it. So what you do, if you see a sticker you like that goes by, and right now we're limited to 20, you click on it, and then you add it to your favorite library right here. Add it to your favorite library. And then after that happens, it'll be in here. See it right there? And so there's ones that D-Live uploads for you to be able to use. These are theirs. And as we grow in achievements, you're supposed to be able to get more stickers. Now, somebody in the PSB D-Live chat last night, I said, how do I get more stickers? They told me to get like Dissenter or something. No, what is it called? What is this thing called? D-Live extra stickers. I still have not figured out how to use this. It does not work for me. Maybe it's because I'm in Brave and it kind of blocks stuff out that it doesn't trust.
Yeah.
But that's all you do.
Apparently, there's a YouTube video tutorial on D-Live stickers. Figure that one out.
Lord knows I need to take it. But see, then you can just, and it's the same thing, you know, you write your comments in here. Hey, how you doing? The big difference is that when we got like play the Biden song, which is when we stretch over, we will, like people will dance and like, it's just, we have a lot of fun. I have literally grown to love D-Live. And it's a lot has to do with 412. And see, this has its own little language. Like, see, they'll start posting the same memes or the same GIFs. It's like a hat tip to each other. And if you don't have that GIF, but you have a Keck one, other people will drop their Keck one. And everybody just has like fun and they laugh. And how do I send you a limit? Mojo.
Couple things real quick here. Timothy Powell, first of all, thank you for the super chat, £5 from across the pond. Appreciate our patriots from Daddy Dragonland. EKS says too much clutter on D-Live, in my opinion. Russ Peck says no conversation with all that crap being posted. You know, it varies because some people like it, some people don't. You go to some channels over there, like quite frankly, and I think, I don't know, some people do get annoyed with it. They flat out turn it off, and their audience is fine with that. For whatever reason, some people like it, some people don't. It's not for everybody. And I will say this, that in terms of performance, do check it out on your mobile phones too, because it seems to perform better from what we're seeing here the last several days of doing a lot of broadcasting over there exclusively. Folks seem to have a better time getting the broadcast to come through via mobile as opposed to, say, on your PC or Mac.
And you know what I've noticed? I think that maybe over at D-Live, their upload servers are a little bit better because every time I watch something on D-Live, I notice that the video quality, I'm able to stream a little bit better video quality from them as opposed to like YouTube. And I don't know why that is, but it always seems to be, it just looks more clear and crisp.
Oh, and that's another.
Mojo figured it out. Mojo was asking how she'd purchased diamonds and how did you just pick it through here? She figured it out. Well, she did. Thank you for the diamond. And I get it. We have Twitch too, and it doesn't have these gifts or memes. Okay, it doesn't. It's a lot more like YouTube where it's stagnant and stuff. The reason why we're encouraging you guys to do this is every single one of you has seen what is going on. every one of you. And the reality is if you like us and you want to support us and you don't want to miss us, yeah, I mean, at least go follow us there, because I'm worried. I'm just being. I've been around for 3 years in this community, and I have seen people build, like even people try and go relaunch here where you guys are, and immediately be taken down. Immediately be taken down. Can't even get one video up. So that's why we're on YouTube, where we can download it. I've got Dutch right now talking to an IT guy. Another shout out for Mojo, but to try and build us like a different website where it's you can find things a lot easier. We're kind of working on that right now. There's stuff going in the background.
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to encourage you to do it. I don't know if I'm immediately logged into my Twitch.
People are asking what the link is. It's dlive.tv/5x5. Go ahead and go over there, get a follow. Follow WTPI, follow whoever else that you like. There's several of us over there. One final thing, too, as Soko mentioned here, as we have now gotten 1,000 followers, one thing it does afford us the ability to do, or allows us to do, as we have ranked up, if you will be able to go back on the channel and see the archives from previous shows now. It will actually hold the shows now for a 25-day period. Once you rank up, I think it'll actually start holding it for 45 or 50 days once you get to the last tier, global partner type deal. Obviously, based on what has happened here on the YouTube side, we've had to take some measures in that, and therefore you don't necessarily see all of the various content from various contributors. DLive doesn't care, so it's going to be there. You'll always be able to go there and check out all the shows as they happen shortly after the broadcast.
It was a real gut punch having to take all that stuff down that we'd worked on for like a year, man.
Yeah, and again, I promise you guys, I understand what you mean by the DLive situation. I get it. I was one of those people. And then I'm telling you, it's the same thing when I did not support this president. I did not. 2.5, 3 weeks, whatever it was before the election. Ask my best friends in my hometown here. That did. I was like, that man's going to have us in a war in North Korea. He is an idiot, blah, blah, blah. It took one YouTube video to change my mind. Okay, it really did. But I promise you, if I went one day over there, and it's like its own little language. It's like when somebody posts, like I said, a gift, and then everybody kind of follows suit. And when we get to play music over there, because we don't have to worry about copyright strikes, we play the Biden song. Everybody puts their dancing gif. I mean, it's just freaking fun. Okay, and I don't want to lose you guys. I don't want to lose the 398, 400 people we have in here right now. I don't want to lose you. I don't. And if you can't get either used to DLive or Twitch, we are. We have a huge possibility of losing all of you, because these people right here don't care about us. They don't care about us.
And we'll continue to expand our footprint. Right now, we have channels set up on various other platforms as well, looking to expand, just as many other channels are. So we'll coalesce around a point where we'll figure this out. And of course, I hear people say, "Well, shoot over to Rumble, shoot over to this, that, or the other." The key thing to understand about all this is not all sites are created equal. Some sites like Rumble purely do uploads. They don't do live streaming. Same is true of like Brighteon or air.tv or some of these other places that various outlets use to archive their stuff outside of YouTube. Because of YouTube's path that they have taken, the free market has responded, and rightfully so. And so we see some folks that provide places to archive and do uploads, and there just aren't as many out there, aside from, say, DLive, Twitch, and a couple others that do pure live streaming to this point. Will it come? Yeah, there's definitely plans. Gab.tv or Gab TV is planning on making a comeback here very soon. Folks are headed over to pilled.net, which could very well be a source that we'll migrate to here on 5x5. It's all very fluid at this point, but stick with us.
Yeah, and I get it. But if you can, just jump over here and just follow us. Again, I can't show you. Maybe one of y'all can, because I am in the actual account. That's why it comes up as 5x5. But go follow us. We would not be here. We would not have a message to send if it weren't for you guys. And we are very lucky right now that we are still here. There's so many great people that no longer are, and they can't come back. And so we'll be here as long as we can. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We will. But there is also a benefit to being somewhere where you can play the Biden song and laugh and cheer. And we did, like, I think it was you guys were with us for our drinking game. And I don't know why some people get away with bloody murder on YouTube. You can go watch a flipping rap video. I sent one to Breaking the other day that was disgusting. I mean, it was disgusting. Smacking this, and I mean, even and completely monetized. So they have no real rules. Okay, they don't. They said they like you or they don't. And if they don't like it, you ain't got long to, survive.
Well,
but anyway, I love my D Live people, and I understand it might take you guys over here some getting used to. But remember that we do have Twitch, which is Siege's basic chat. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Twitch, somebody out there in live chat can't find it on the YouTube side. Can you post a link to the Twitch page?
Sure. Doing that now. Okay. And that's my D Live thing. Again, I think the biggest thing is we have permission. Like, I have permission to play the Slideshow Bob's videos, and I got it from him on Twitter, and we still played it even with his permission, and I still got dinged for it. We had the permission to pay Benton Blount's music, still got hit by it. Bryson Gray, and they were both on the show. Bryson Gray came on here with Dave that day, and he played music, and we got hit by that. Over there, we don't have to worry about it. We can live it up. But I'm okay. I'll keep posting. Mods will help me keep posting D Live and Twitch out there. I really do appreciate it. And I promise you, if you give D Live a chance, you are probably going to have a lot of fun. And if you don't like all the gifts and stuff, Twitch is a lot more like YouTube. And the pictures do seem to be clearer, is what Ain't No Mojo said over on D Live. And that, I'm not a techie person, but see, because all I get to see anyway is this little window, so I'm probably the last person to ask. See my little window up here of you guys? So, because I watch all this other stuff and then talk to you guys down here. Same thing with D Live. I see what you guys see at D Live, though. I can blow it up, but I see all this other stuff, people I follow, stuff like that. And if you don't, by the way, if you need any help finding anybody else, I will try to help you. I really will. Because regardless if we're one of your favorite channels or you're just trying to, come through us to find someone else, I'll try to help you find them, because it's been a nightmare for some of you guys. I know that.
Well, now that the tutorial section of the Sunday Roundtable section is done, should we spin it back to a couple articles here real quick?
Sure, please do.
Yes, actually, we've got the U.S. Senate vote for Amy Coney
I got an announcement to make, too.
Go ahead.
Well, I get to announce it now. I was going to wait for him to announce it, but I'm going to see if I've got an image made that it's a lock. I got this done for him today. I just saw him in chat a while ago. So this is coming to the channel.
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's his idea. That how our graphic designer is. She's pretty freaking amazing. He just gave me a couple of points to what he wanted, and this is what she came up with. Finished it this morning. Love you. You ain't on you. That does not want to shout out, but yeah, Pinata is going to start doing some. I don't. It's up to him. Here, the guys will tell you they have the keys to the clubhouse. They want to do an upload. They can do an upload. They want to go live. They can go live. I've been locked out of our production room, but actually Pinata's in there, of all things, and Pixels is, and Breaking is, and Daddy is. But me and Bird have been completely locked out. So when we launch the show, I have to rely on one of these guys, which are awesome. But yep, shout out to him. Can't wait for that. And I'll let him decide when he's doing his. He'll let you know when he's doing his first one, I'm sure. But yeah, it looks awesome. Great graphic designer. Love you, lady.
All right. Well, let me spin it back around to old Hunter here. Apparently, this just come out today. It says breaking. DOJ source says FBI dropped the Biden laptop investigation.
What a surprise.
When do we get to see that X actually take place on Ray again?
I know, man.
So
I really don't like. It's like I don't know. I get the feeling that like we're having that kind of like, I don't know. It's like a carrot on a stick. Fire Ray already. Please,
Yeah.
please, please, please just fire Ray. Enough with the posting of the X pictures. Just get it done. Do it.
So this is the post-millennial here today. It says One American News Network host Jack Posobiec tweeted Sunday that a source from the DOJ told the network that the FBI dropped the investigation due to supposed concerns over the story from the repair shop owner. Concerns were raised over the chain of custody in the case. The source indicated that the FBI dropped the investigation, quote unquote, because they did not believe the repair shop owner's story would hold up in court, although Mac Isaac provided them with evidence, end quote, according to Posobiec, who added that they found zero evidence of foreign involvement. And there you see Posobiec's tweet. Says the FBI has been in possession of the laptop at the center of the scandal, and a federal law enforcement officer revealed to Fox News that the emails in question are authentic, not Russian garbage like Shifty Schiff purports. Former Fox News correspondent and journalist Adam Housley pointed out that both the DOJ and the Director of National Intelligence verified the legitimacy of the laptop, adding that the Russians had nothing to do with its contents or the dissemination of its contents. Despite the FBI's initial decision to drop the investigation, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani claims that he, quote, got the FBI to start investigating, end quote, the matter of the laptop 8 months after they first obtained it. So I finally got the FBI to start investigating a laptop they've had for over 8 months, according to Giuliani. So, why do people continue to put faith in a failed institution at this point? We know they're corrupt, and at the same time, we get all these revelations. What's the first thing that Giuliani and all these guys do? Well, turn it over to the FBI. Turn it over to the FBI. Why? What do we think we stand to gain by turning it over to the FBI that is a failed institution at this point?
Yeah, and their spiel about, having concerns that the repair shop owner's story. Who cares about the repair shop owner's story? It's Hunter Biden's laptop. That's the bottom line. It is his laptop, and those are his emails, and those are photos of him, and those are videos of him. Who gives a crap about what the repair shop owner told the FBI? It's nothing. That means nothing, right? So their actual concern is political. That's what their concern is.
It's the typical playbook, right? It's the same thing we saw with, say, the undercover videos behind Planned Parenthood a couple of years ago, right? All the undercover footage and that we got. What did they do? No, they didn't go after and discredit the videos themselves. They went after the one who did the undercover reporting and vilified him and bankrupted him and took him to court and this, that, and the other thing. It wasn't the fact that the information was actually sound and credible. No, you go after the frickin' messenger, and that's exactly what you do according to Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. You go after the source, you belittle him and everything else, and make him feel small and everything else. That's part of their playbook. It's built in.
Yeah, absolutely. No, what needs to be done is this needs to be fully investigated, right, and prosecuted. But I don't see a scenario in which that's going to happen, especially not before the election. So instead, I think what needs to be done is just if we're not going to get any justice for what the Bidens have been doing, at least release all of it. At least be transparent, show the American people who these people are by dropping it all, right? Drop it all, put it on the internet somewhere, and let people like us disseminate it and get it out there. Because if that's the least we can get, then hell, let's do it.
Yeah. Can we get one more follower or viewer over on D Live at the moment? We're sitting at a 187. That's kind of a fitting number, I guess, for the article at hand.
Sheesh.
Listen, we got to I won't say this number. We got to a subscriber 66 same number, and I was like, oh please, just one more sub, get me off that number. Just to get me off that number. Oh look, there's another Alex Jones one I haven't seen. That's where he was going off at Joe Rogan's. Oh my gosh, some of these freaking gifts are hilarious, guys. It's hilarious. I love it.
Soko, the sticker stealer.
Listen, if I could figure out how to use this stupid dissenter thing, I'd have 40 of those. People drop some of the coolest stickers I've ever seen. And guys, thanks for the flipping diamonds. Look at this. I mean, I told Breaking the other day, I know I've probably given about 7,000 of my own flipping lemons. But I said, I think if you do good things, good things will come back to you. It's like when we had Joe on here and he was trying to raise the money for that get together. And it just, in the middle of the show, it came to me like, listen, if, what they're trying to do is a good thing, why don't we donate half of what we brought in that day to him for that cause? And because we're not getting rich here, but our lights are also not going to get shut off. So we take donations, what you feel like giving us. We're still here to give you the information and we appreciate it. That is how I feel about it. Then I think good things come back around. I do. So, I'm always going to try. It's like I've always said, and I said this to a friend. I'll just say it to the other day. I said this to Dad Cat, and I say this to 4 times. Anybody that'll listen. I think good things happen to good people, and you are only in charge of your own actions. You're not in control of what someone else does. If someone wants to stab you in the back, they're going to stab you in the back. You make the choice of how you deal with that. That's on you. You're in control of your actions, not theirs. And I've been tested the last couple of weeks to remind myself of that very thing. And sometimes I need to remind myself of that. I can only be who I am and hold myself accountable. I can't do it for everybody else. So again, it is what it is. And God watches over me. I don't need anybody else coming down on me. When I live my life, I think one day I'm going to have to answer to him. And I'm a sinner. I fail all the time, but I try really hard to remind myself if I do what I've done. There's my spiel.
Speaking
I'm
of,
seeing a few comments. Dead Cat is out there.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Sure.
Oh, I love Dead Cat. He's my man.
I'm seeing a few comments out there. One person was saying that they have absolutely no faith in Barr at this point. Another person saying they don't think anyone's going to be arrested. I think that's all for after the election at this point. And I was hanging on for so long thinking that something would happen before the election. But guys, we got 9 days. And then speaking of Barr, it does make me very angry that, we all remember back when he got on camera, right? And he said late spring, early summer. And then, late summer came and we were all kind of, going, what the hell? And it's disgusting to me that Barr allowed all this COVID crap to be their excuse as to why they couldn't get testimony, so on and so forth. And to use, I don't know, to allow the whole COVID narrative to grind the Durham investigation basically to a halt. It pisses me off, man. I mean, what do you guys have to say to that?
Well, I don't disagree. I mean, but think of what the Mockingbird media has tried to tell us surrounding this, right? They think that everything hinges on a report. Durham's going to issue this grandiose report, right? Everybody's waiting for this report like it's a freaking OIG booklet, and that like we got last December.
Yeah,
no.
He's not an inspector general. He's a prosecutor. There's a big difference.
We're not sitting here waiting for a freaking report, folks. We don't give two hoots about a stinking report. We want to see the grand juries that have been impaneled in D.C. as well as up in Connecticut, where he formerly served. And we want to see those indictments come through, and we want to see those cases opened up, and we want to see the freaking arrests. Low level to high level. It doesn't matter. We need to start seeing it. So I don't care one iota about a stinking report, because that is not what Durham is tasked with.
Each it. And I will say this, I'm going to tell y'all something I normally don't do. I normally don't mod people because of who they are, where they're from. I don't. I mod people because they're in our chat room and they're great and they do great work for us. Tad, Dutch, Ray, all you Caustic. But me and Dead Cat go like way back, like from the beginning. Like when PSP first launched, it was me and him on air till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or the music played. So that's one I'm going to bend my own rules for, because he'll always have a special place in my heart. He knows that, and he always will, no matter what platform he's on or if I have one or not. That's why he's got a wrench. If he comes in once freaking every 6 months, I don't care. I'd we just go so far back. So,
and I do have to say about Dead Cat, back, I'm gonna go back in time here to before I was involved in all of this, and I listened to PSB a lot, and I was working in I I guess I'll say it was a aerospace shop. It was related to aerospace stuff, but that's beside the point. But I would go into work with my Bluetooth headphones, and I would fling on PSB and make sure my phone's plugged in and connected to the Wi-Fi at work. And I always looked forward to the show. I think it was at 9 a.m. Eastern that Dead Cat and Thumper did. I always enjoyed that show. It was like my favorite show. And I don't know, just listening to Dead Cat, I love what he does. I love his voice. It was just a great way to start the morning. So much love to you, Dead Cat. You're the best.
Well, if everybody is piling on the
Here
Dead
we
Cat
go.
stories,
Here we
come
go.
on, I gotta get on. I gotta get on the train too here a little bit. So
I know
I'm
you
gonna
respect him a lot.
I'm gonna share something here of my archives net that I've put over on a little known site called Utah Gun Exchange Tube, where all of the shows net that I've partaken in on PSB, with People Insider here on 5x5, and if you head on over to there. Over to UGE Tube underneath my playlist here for all of the PSB WTS historical docs playlist. Dead Cat and I did a little number back on June 29th of last year where we went through the Declaration of Independence and also George Washington's farewell address. Number 12 on that playlist. So if you ever want to check that out, you can head on over to the archives and that I have over here at UGE Tube and check that out.
Awesome. Also, English Flower out there just gave us 25 pounds and says, be patient, patriots. It will all come good eventually. Trust President Trump. And that's an amazing comment. And thank you so much for your support, English Flower. We can't say enough how much we love not just all of our viewers, but the viewers, overseas. We're so grateful and just honored to have so many people from overseas, faithfully watching our channel and hanging with us. So thank you very much.
Well, I'll give you one more in my arsenal. And Dan Cat's out there probably like, hell, I just showed up in chat to say hi. What the heck y'all doing? Y'all not supposed to turn the show into me. Because he does not like to be caricatured. He's a true person that really doesn't want fame and fortune. But I'll show you what I have in my arsenal really, really quick. I won't play the whole thing, but there's nobody that reads this better or says it better. And so I have it hit off in my own little world I'm only in. And you're welcome.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all of the fiery darts of the wicked one. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all the perseverance and supplication for all the saints, and for me, that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, and willfully so, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Amen.
And you are welcome. That is one I love. I'll share it out there with you guys. Nobody says it better to me, man. He's just got that voice.
Dead Cat's voice is a voice that must stay with us, man. I can't be without Dead Cat's voice, man. It's just I don't know. He just puts it.
Yeah, he's you, and I told him the other day. I said, I'll just tell you, I told him the other day, I said, I think he should be one that, like, he's got that voice where he should tell, like, historical stories, bringing it to the future and stuff. I think he'd be really good at it, just because if you listen to his voice, he's easy to listen to. And there's so much, like me and Breaking read those 2 chapters in that Chaos book that even happened in the late 60s, early 70s that people forget about. But yeah, I'm going to get the attention off of him. He's going to be like, oh my gosh, shut up. I know how he is. He's going to be, please shut up. He knows I love him. He knows that. And I have for a long time. And it has nothing to do with the channel, has nothing to do with the movement, has nothing to do with anything. I mean, we go back. He was my ride or die in the very beginning. And then, good Lord, I don't even remember what we'd talk about for 6 or 7 hours on air. Probably nothing. We'd run out of stuff to say, but we'd stick it out. So yeah, that's why.
And he's out there saying, why anyone finds my voice the least bit pleasant is beyond my comprehension. Well, let me explain it to you. Well, you have the perfect voice for telling stories, man. You have a storyteller's voice, and it's perfect.
It does. Breaking is the same thing. His comments, we're like, oh, I can listen to Breaking, and I'm like, he's like, I don't know why. I'm like, well, whatever. There's some people that have that voice. I don't. I'm like the sidekick cheerleader. Like, rah, rah, rah. I'll make you laugh. I'll try to poke a few jabs. I think that's probably why I have such fun in D-Live. I love that, like, humor and the kind of people like, look, there's my emoji and the umbrella with the middle finger. That's totally me. I don't know. But all right, get off of them dead cat. He's going to kill me.
All right, well, let's do this. I've got a story for you guys here. This came out not too long ago here on the Gateway Pundit. It says U.S. Senate votes at 51-48 to proceed to final vote to confirm Amy Coney Barrett on Supreme Court. Murkowski and Collins join the Democrats.
Shocker.
And I thought I saw a story yesterday about Murkowski saying that she wouldn't join the Democrats in this vote. What the hell, Murkowski? But anyways, I mean, I'm not surprised. Comped.
Yeah. I wonder if the Dems will do us the favor of at least not showing up to vote on the final confirmation like they did for getting it out of committee. You know, just put up their props like they have done and tuck tail and run and just allow the vote to go through and seat her appropriately.
Yeah, Did you just say that came out and said she wasn't going to confirm her? Is that what you just said?
So there was a story that I saw yesterday where I thought that I saw Murkowski was saying she was going to vote for to confirm Amy Coney Barrett, but now today she's voting to not proceed with the vote. So I don't know. I think she said she disagreed with the process, but she doesn't hold it against Amy Coney Barrett. So I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that too. I almost brought it up for today. That's why when you said that, I was like, what? I literally almost brought it up to cover today, how she said she was going to vote to confirm her. And so when you said that, I was like, what do you mean?
Maybe Cheinstein paid her another visit.
Cheinstein.
So this was out.
Oh my God,
yeah, maybe it was out of the Western Journal. I'll bounce it over to you. It says Senator Murkowski announces she will reverse course, announces she will vote to confirm Barrett to court. It's out of Western Journal. Today at 12:39.
Well, we'll see what happens there. I've got to bring this up because I can't remember where I saw this woman at. I think it was in We the People Patriot Insiders chat room. I remember this happened several months ago. There was a lady in 412's chat that was saying she was like the aunt, I think, of the person that runs Babylon Bee. Have you guys seen this story?
Not that particular one.
I do have one
I want to bring up.
Oh, there goes the audio again.
Oh, am I sharing the audio? Oh, good Lord. See, Breaking will freaking pant huff. At least Pixels just goes, Laura, I do your audio. Breaking's over there, like,
That's our first time broadcasting, folks.
Listen, whatever. Sorry, though. I don't mean to do it. It just deafened them. Okay, Babylon Bee CEO pushes back against big tech bullying. Okay, so I read this. It said the overseas one of the web's funniest destinations, but there's an edge to his voice that's hardly comic. Dylan, the CEO of Babylon Bee, is at war with social media again. It's at odds. It's an odd place for a humor site to be, but it's can sync with the current wave of big tech bullying. Okay, I'm going to get down here. It talks about the Babylon Bee being a Christian humor site that politically leans to the right, generates revenue from Facebook in several key ways. Facebook traffic compromises a large part of the Bee's overall clicks. But it says that When they demonetize you, they turn all of them off. Cooler cyber heads prevailed, but recently Facebook once again threatened the Babylon Bee over its content. The story in question poked fun at Senator Mazie Hirono, a Hawaiian Democrat, for grilling Judge Amy Coney Barrett about a sexual assault she may have committed in the past. The Bee's piece headline, Senator Hirono demands ACB be weighed against a duck to see if she's a witch, referencing a classic Monty Python routine. So basically, they're like, oh, you can't do that. It triggered the Facebook algorithm. Then they tried to say it incites violence and told them to pull their article. And they were told we would need to edit it or else we would remain in violation of the community standards. So the Babylon Bee reached out to the media to amplify both the conflict and their side of the argument. Days later, Facebook changed its mind and apologized, noting the difference between satire and fake news. It's always a mistake, Dylan says sarcastically. They're stretching to make us in violation of their community standards. Facebook cyberbullying presents an existential threat to the Babylon Bee. A large portion of its site's revenue comes from the ads served on the main site. And he said, fortunately, they're not stupid. They're not just using all of their monetization tools. It's way too risky. But he says that Dylan is grateful to press outlets for amplifying their concerns, but Facebook, but not every report is eager to do so. So basically, that it's always like, it's kind of like, and I'm going to use this, what they did to Alex Jones, whether or not you like him or not, whatever. It almost felt like it was a test, right? That it was like, how quiet can we pull this off? How much outrage are we going to create? So it says, plus Twitter suspended the Babylon Bee's account in August out of nowhere, he said, claiming the company violated Twitter's spam and platform manipulation policies. They said it was a mistake, he says. Noting the social media giant eventually restored the account. We did hear that there were other conservative sites caught up in the spam filter. What kind of spam filter was that? What really happened, he asked. It's one more mistake that affected us, and not The Onion. The Onion is a left-wing satire site that could be compared to the Babylon Bee, and notice they're not attacking them. So he's basically saying that they're living under no falsehood here, that they're just looking for any way to try and get rid of them, and then they know it. And so when they push back, they've relented, but they're just looking for any reason to dump them and whatever you have breaking on it.
Water! I fart in your general direction. Your mouth.
You're so funny.
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
Speaking of Babylon Bee, let me preface this article by asking the audience, how many undecided voters are out there? If you are an undecided voter at this particular point, now 9 days out from the election, put a 1 in chat if you're on the YouTube side or if you're on the DLive side. I want to see how many undecideds, because I've got some fantastic information to help you decide here. Let me see what rolls through here quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath.
All right. Well, we do have one. All right.
Well, wow. Well, okay, that's cool. Thanks for being here. Listen,
so we get
that's what we want.
Yeah, we get some fantastic advice here today via the Babylon Bee, and it is pretty doggone good. So I will share it. So, as you know, this election is the most important election in our lifetimes. Experts say it may even be the most important election since the formation of the universe over 6,000 years ago. That's right. So the Babylon Bee has done us the service of putting together the official guide to voting. Experts also say that if your candidate loses and the other candidate wins, democracy and freedom will be destroyed for all of eternity. The only way to stop the apocalypse is to vote as hard as you can and totally own the other side. So we get this. To ensure success on voting day, be sure to follow these important tips. Number 1, call Mark Zuckerberg on the phone to ensure you're at the right voting place. 2, binge watch Sean Hannity and Rachel Maddow the night before so you'll be fully informed. 3, look for any candidates with an R next to their name and vote for him so Jesus won't cry. Number 4, look for any candidates with a D next to their name and vote for them to end racism forever. Number 5, make sure and write the correct answers on your arm so you can refer to them while voting. Number 6, remember, not voting is the same as being a member of Antifa or the KKK. Number 8, bring extra hydroxychloroquine with you and pass it out to everyone so you can all stay safe. Number 9, cough all over your ballot so Russian agents won't touch it and tamper with it. Number 10, go into the voting booth with your wife to make sure you approve of her choice. Number 11, if you're a Calvinist, close your eyes and vote for random people to place it all in God's hands. Number 12, host a MAGA tailgate party outside the polling station. Even if you're a Biden voter, Biden parties are lame. Number 12, if you are made to wait in line for any length of time, scream voter suppression at the top of your lungs. Number 13, take the time to listen to a woman of color and ask her how she would vote, like Candace Owens. Number 14, don't let the post office deliver your ballot. Instead, hand deliver your ballot directly to President Trump. Or perhaps if you're in Michigan, I think there's a toilet in somebody's front lawn. Number 14, bring a basin of water so you can wash your hands after voting like Pontius Pilate. Number 15, pray or don't, whatever, it's cool. You do you. We hope you find this guide beneficial. Now it's time to vote and save our democracy from the evil other half of the country. Go get 'em, champ. There you go. Thus saith Babylon B.
Bing, bing, bong.
Sorry, guys. I'm having fun with this little, this thing here. That was funny, though. Yeah, I mean, it kind of it's satire on like the fact that everyone is so, whether you're on the left or the right, everyone is like, people care more about politics than I think they ever have in this country. But I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as a good thing. I think that part of the reason why our country has fallen so much is because people got complacent, right? They didn't care. They were more focused on their day-to-day life and keeping up with the Joneses. And then there was even like this unwritten societal rule where, oh, you're not supposed to talk about politics. And I cannot stand that. I hate it, really. So I'm glad, like, whether people on the left or the right, I'm glad that people care now. At least they give a darn, right?
Yeah. And
yeah,
from a church perspective, it's unfortunate that pastors don't have more cajones to stand up and say what is right and sway with the worldly things that are before us. Because if you went back to what our founding fathers did back in the day, a couple hundred years ago now, the pastors of that time had a lot more fire and a lot more fervor with not only the statesmen, not politicians, folks, statesmen, because we didn't have politicians at the founding of this country. We had folks who actually worked among the populace and treated the government job as a part-time job. They carried a lot more favor and spoke as if they were on fire from the pulpits back then. Where is that fire today? How many folks do you see from your respective pulpits around the country speaking truth to what is going on here today? Sure, you can find a handful on that here online if they may still be left, but they are few and far between.
Yeah, well, here's a little bit of good news. This is apparently what's happened to them after the whole cuties debacle. So, like the same way, your voice can be heard, et cetera, it says it soars 800, the cancellation soar 800% after the whole cuties thing. So there's that. Just FYI. So, I mean, your voice can be heard. Like, and I need to practice it too. Like, I still have Netflix, ashamedly so. It's the same thing almost like with Amazon. It's just so freaking handy, and like, like it's so hard to be able to just click on something and there it is. And then you can get Prime and you have it in 2 days. But we've got complacent and lazy and not understanding that, sometimes that's what it takes for them to hear the message is hitting them in the pocketbook. And I don't even really know how much Netflix is really even making. It makes you wonder what is Netflix really.
Netflix is a broke company. They spend more than they make, and they have consistently done that for a number of years. So it begs a question. How you've heard me pose this question many a time in talking economics here. If you or I have a business out there, folks in chat, what is one of your prime goals in business? Aside from, being able to serve your particular customers with whatever product or service and that you're providing, but isn't one of the sole goals of being in business to actually make a profit usually? Because if you don't make a profit, where does that lead you? Typically, that would mean you're out of business, right? Well, unless you live in the bizarro unicorn world of Silicon Valley, where the dollars net flow in from various outlets and underhanded dollars, clown money, whatever, dark money. Netflix has yet to turn a profit at any time. And they have consistently been spending way, way, way more for them to be around than they actually make. So how in the world, even if they lose 800,000 subscribers or 800 million or whatever that number was, how are they still allowed to exist? Because in the real world, if you and I were to do that, we wouldn't be in business, period.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm reading something off to the side too. Well, I will, let's see. Here's the next thing I brought up we can discuss. Delta Airlines adds 460 passengers who refuse to wear a mask to the no-fly list.
This is absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
I cannot stand seeing this. And then seeing people like I think it was last week, a gentleman who had a Black Voices for Trump hat, I think it was, and then he was wearing a Trump mask. He lowered his mask to eat some peanuts and they kicked him off the plane.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's this is dystopian crap that we're seeing with this whole coronavirus situation. Has rapidly turned our country into this authoritarian hellhole, and I just wish that we could drop this coronavirus nonsense and get back to having a free freaking society.
Well, I'm happy to see an article like that, and here's why. Because at the end of the day, they're writing their own death knell. They're putting the final nails in their own coffin. If they're going to turn away folks who refuse to comply with their little statutes or little rules that have no authority behind them whatsoever, because, folks, there are no laws about wearing frickin' masks because there's no true science to back it up, except their science. Don't believe the other 50% of scientists who say otherwise, because obviously Twitter will just ban you for wrong think. No, they're writing their death knell, and rightfully so. So I would suggest that everybody follow suit. Get on a list. Everybody should be on a list by now. Don't sweat it. Join the club.
And now what's even more disgusting is we're seeing startup companies saying, oh, we screw masks. Let's make people wear freaking these giant spacesuit looking things. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, who are these idiots who decide at these companies product development? Hey, let's see if we can one-up each other and see if we can gouge customers who will buy this stuff up. Basically, we're the equivalent of a, what's his name from The Naked Gun? Leslie Nielsen. Just put on a full frickin' body condom and we'll call it good. And that'll be enough to protect you from everything, right? And they sell this stuff. Who the hell buys this stuff?
People who watch too much TV.
Look at how they're carrying us closer to a cure for breast cancer. Why is that the title of the subject line? It says, as of this week, we've added 460 people to the no-fly list for refusing to comply with our mask requirements. What the heck?
So,
many airlines still to require masks for all passengers. But there you go. There's that. Again, it's like Breaking said. People keep talking about science when they want to talk about the climate changing, even though they don't even know science when they're trying to espouse stuff like that. when they push something like biomass that's chopping down entire forests that still have to be plugged into the power to the grid. And then you have people like this that one day will say something about, oh well, science says, but then fly this out when a doctor tries to come on air and say something in a different light, and then all these media outlets ban them. Like, you can't hear from a physician that has a different opinion that actually is a physician. No, we got to ban those people because they're not preaching groupthink.
The only saving grace to all that is at least those folks are sucking less oxygen, and it affords more oxygen for the rest of us.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, guys, I can't even believe this. So Donald Trump Jr. picked this up from Ryan Saavedra, and it's a Washington Post headline. Listen to this. We must treat the Hunter Biden leaks as if they were a foreign intelligence operation, even if they probably aren't. What is wrong with these people?
Written by Bezos himself?
I don't know. People are crazy, I'm telling you.
All right. Do we want to take a quick spin around the notables coming off 8kun today?
Yeah, if you want, I do have a couple other things. Do you want to do it at the end as usual? We can do it now. I don't mind either one you want to do.
Flip a coin. What do you want to do?
It's all right. I don't care. Go for it.
All right, here we go. So coming off of the boards this afternoon, what are the Anons digging on? Well, Lude is live with live translation. So those that don't know Lude, Lude appears to be the guy that is releasing a lot of these Hunter Biden related stories and pieces net out there. So this was just before showtime here today. Mercenaries in the Civil War, adrenochrome harvesting. So apparently the Anons are digging around that. COVID, $6 trillion value, vax man. I'm not sure what that pertains to. Perhaps that's a story need to follow up on. We, the new federal state of China, have made the video public. And I'm not sure if there's more videos out there aside from what dropped last night that Twitter promptly banned anybody from sharing. I don't know. Did Joe Biden use the pseudonym Peter Henderson when trading emails with son Hunter? I don't know. Any of you guys have seen anything along those lines and any comms, I guess?
With Hunter?
Apparently Joe was using the pseudonym Peter Henderson when trading emails with son Hunter.
Oh.
Okay. Apparently the Anons got something to say about pedivores. There's a PSA out there. Not sure what all that's about. You can probably check that out over on the boards. Operation #SaveOurChildren. Assuming that must be trending on Twitter. Tropical storm Zeta forms south of western Cuba as the 2020 hurricane season is thrown into the record books. And yes, we have batted around all the normal names A to Z and are now on the Greek alphabet. We've got some new Hunter picks. Apparently the Anons are talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls for whatever reason. I don't know. Biden's most revealing gaffe yet. I think we pretty well covered that at the top of the broadcast here today. Biden's family corruption is nothing new and largely legal. And yes, that's probably true, because think of it, folks. When they write these laws in Congress, it isn't for our benefit. It's to prevent them from getting arrested. They write it in their favor. So, of course, yes, it's legal, just like propaganda, disinformation, misinformation, all that being broadcast over the airways from your local TV station are indeed legal. Brought to us by the Smith-Mundt Act, NDAA 2013, and all of the various legislation surrounding that. As Biden eyes expanded electoral map, memories of 2016 linger. Rightfully so. If he has any sort of insight or foresight whatsoever, he should probably be a little bit concerned based on where HRC stood at this point in time 4 years ago versus where he stands and what will likely happen. Just vote again. Ballot shenanigans rampant in Oregon. Well, that can't be happening, right? There's no voter fraud. Al-Qaeda's second in command on FBI's most wanted list is killed in Afghanistan, according to reports. Got some plain fag reports. There's only one principled vote on Amy Coney Barrett. No. All right. News Vice President Mike Pence's Chief of Staff, Mark Short, tested positive for the coronavirus on Saturday. And that's just some of the stuff that the Anons are digging on and coming across here on the boards this afternoon.
Yeah, there's the article I had pulled for the Chief of Staff to VP test positive for coronavirus. So this says White House says Pence tested negative on Saturday. So Mark Short, the 50-year-old Chief of Staff to Vice President Mike Pence, tested positive for the coronavirus over the weekend, according to White House statement released Saturday evening. So, well, there's that. Wonder what's going to happen there. So there's that one that I had pulled up.
I've got.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I'm not going to pull it up, but apparently more pictures have come out. This one says there are pictures of Pelosi's son and Hunter partaking in an orgy that includes a child. And then apparently Biden's daughter's diary details a not appropriate shower with Joe Biden as a child. Yeah, and then apparently Chris Coons has addressed the infamous photo or GIF of when Biden was being really, really creepy with his daughter. This comes after it was reported, I think, on Breitbart, SiriusXM Breitbart, that Chris Coons' daughter is featured in the Hunter Biden laptop. So things are heating up in that area as well.
Good. I think how many people this could ensnare as part of this. We really have no idea how many other senators or congressmen or other folks attributed to the families of said congressmen and senators that may get ensnared by this. So, of course, they're going to try and discredit this and say, about Russia again, as if, we believe the big bad boogeyman Russia is always at fault here because they say so.
No, it's like they're calling it a Russian disinformation operation, right? And now the videos and photos are rolling out, and it's like, how can they continue to call it disinformation when you have video and photo proof of what's going on?
That's called deep fake, my friend. Every time something bad comes out, well, they can just fake a video real easy now, can't they?
Do you remember when we had that discussion? What was it, probably a year ago, where they were pushing that really, really heavy, where they were saying, oh, the deep fakes, you can't trust videos anymore because it looks like the person when it's not. Like, you watch, they're going to use this whenever these what, if you want to call it frazzle drip or whatever you want to call it, start coming out. They're going to say, oh, that's not me, that's a deep fake. And look what's happening.
Well, who's the only one pushing that particular narrative, though? I mean, how many people actually trust and still follow the Mockingbird media at this point?
Probably very, very low at this point. I mean, there are a lot of people, though, I will say, out there that they've watched it for so long, like particularly, I know, like older people. And for instance, like my grandfather has watched CNN his whole life, and because he's older, he's in his 90s, he's stuck in his ways and he won't get away from it. And every time you try to tell him and even prove to him that they're lying to his face, it's like he glazes over and gets that cognitive dissonance going, right? And he just cannot accept that they're lying to him. And I think there's probably a lot of people out there that are still stuck in that mindset. They're entrapped by their own cognitive dissonance, and it's really sad to me.
Yeah, it is. Okay, well, there's a couple other things. You probably have heard this as well, and you've seen this story about the Afghanistan and claims that it killed the wanted Al-Qaeda terrorist leader.
No, I just hit Sunday, the headline there.
No, did you? Well, did you read it? That's probably why I was trying to go through and find that other one, because I knew I had something pulled on it as well about the VP, because I'd seen you pull it up. But yeah, they're saying that they killed one of Al-Qaeda's top propagandists who was also on the FBI's most wanted. So details over the raid that led to Al-Rouf's alleged death remained murky hours after Afghanistan's national Directorate of Security Intelligence Services claimed on Twitter to have killed him in Ghazni province. The AP reported Al-Qaeda did not immediately acknowledge Al-Rouf's reported death. So who knows? I mean, I don't know. I'm always leery of anyone that says anything, anymore without some actual sauce to it. So there's that one.
I guess real quick on that point is think of how long we have now spent in Afghanistan. We're 19 years into a campaign, and what do we technically have to show for it at this point? How many new wars has POTUS launched? 0. How many wars is he trying to get us out of and pull troops home from? Many. And they don't like it. They like their continued war. It's not about winning a war. It's about the continuation of war and selling products from the military-industrial complex, the likes of Oshkosh or, who's another good name? Halliburton, or take your pick of names behind the MIC. That's what they want. They want continuous wars because it enriches them. It's not about winning any sort of campaigns.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then I brought up, I don't know what's going on in the mainstream media. I don't want to trust them. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to turn on my audio, so just be prepared, Bracken. But it says Tapper grills Pelosi for refusing to pass COVID-19 relief bill. You could take yes for an answer. And they're pushing back on these people that they have covered for 3 years, and especially this guy. So this is 3 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Again, I could on D-Live. I started to take everybody over there today and transition it over, but I don't want to lose the 500 people that are listening in YouTube. I wish y'all guys would go over there. I wish I could see that number jumped over to D-Live just because, it affords us to be able to play the things we can't play here, but I'll try to see what I can do. It says CNN Jake Tapper calls out Speaker Pelosi for refusing to pass the COVID relief bill, but you notice they've been giving him a lot of pressure on this. So here's a little bit of that.
Moved closer to your position on lots of issues: coronavirus testing, contact tracing strategy, unemployment benefits, local government.
Excuse me, they haven't yet. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the final.
Well, so they said they would, and you're waiting to see it on paper.
They haven't yet. And also, same thing. They keep moving the goalposts. They every time they say we move the goalposts, that means they're projecting what they did. But let's just, let's be hopeful.
This is the same lady that used that term. Remember, she's the one that talked about the scapegoat. Remember that? She let that slip on there about the scapegoat. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. No.
We're 9 days before an election. Yeah. We're trying to unify the country, and one way to do it is to come together to crush the virus so that we can open our economy, open our schools, feed our people. 17 million children food insecure in our country. But again, the answer is crush the virus.
So I get that.
But what is the relief bill? And notice how she throws that in there about helping the American people pay their bills right now. And she's trying to string that in with crushing the virus and getting kids back in school. This is the relief for people right now. Oh, look, I love the Pelosi things at D-Live, by the way. It's pretty freaking scary, though. It's great for Halloween.
But it just seems like they keep moving closer and closer. I get that you're waiting for it on paper, but it just seems like you're winning. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. I'm looking at all the things that the White House is moving towards your position on, and it seems like you could take yes for an answer.
Well, as soon as they say this is it, in our negotiations, yes, that is the case. But then they take it back, and when they come back, it isn't what we anticipated.
Yeah, because they're asking for is horrifying. And then this is my last one, and I can play this one. By the way, this one, I've ran across this, and I was scrolling through the article. Shout out to Methods, because he made it in a Daily Wire article. And if you guys wonder on the weekends, especially, I pull from them. Oh, look at all the freaking Nancy Pelosi memes. Okay. It's because they rarely have to retract the story that I have seen. And that's the one thing that makes good writers whenever they're not pounced upon because what they're writing is factual. Though they make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but they just seem to not make too many. So here's this. What CNBC host taunts Cotton about big tech suppression of Biden story. Cotton's matchless answer gives him a speech. Now, look, you scroll down this and look whose tweet's buried in this article. That's pretty freaking cool. So I don't have to play the whole thing. I think I can get right about here. It'll do it.
Smackdown.
Yeah, he talks about fake news or whatever, and people putting out the truth or something, and it's just kind of funny.
Now, the next piece of this is you're talking about the tech companies censoring such quote unquote news. If in fact the tech companies had quote unquote liability like news operations do, you wouldn't want them to be reporting something that they couldn't corroborate. No?
Do you mean like the Russian collusion hoax and the Steele dossier that you reported on for 4 years, Andrew?
Well, look.
Did you see him swallow hard in that picture? You could see him like, that was freaking hilarious. I'll post that out there too, because shout out, by the way, that's Cool Methods made it in the Daily Wire article. Like, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I remember being really excited when he made it to a Gateway Pundit article. Now he's moving on up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people read those, so yeah, shout out to him. Good job.
So let's check in here to the Trump rally in New Hampshire.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Just brutal, dude. Man, I love how President Trump is playing these videos and stuff at the rallies. It's just devastating.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I can't even say that on air. Okay, yeah, if we went to D-Live, we could. I can't really mention what I've just been sent because it brings up a certain incident that happened that has had people taken off air. If we make it over there, again, I don't want to lose the 500 people we have at YouTube. That's the struggle that I have, is because 412 has had a pretty good success of dropping the D-Live link and then having everybody go over to D-Live, and then he shuts down YouTube. And hopefully you guys will consider doing that as well, because I'm torn. I don't want to lose 500 of our viewers, you know, that are not going over there. I was trying to give it some time to see if y'all would kind of jump over, but I just don't want to. I'm kind of like, I'm out of ideas. If y'all don't go, what do I do here? If y'all don't go, I don't want to lose you, but I really want to try and get people to go over to at least D-Live or Twitch, just so you can get kind of used to it. Like as a team, you guys got any suggestions? Wow. It's hard. It's hard to make that call.
I'm like scrolling through Twitter over here trying to find stuff to share with you guys.
Yeah. Well, we've got you got any ideas breaking? You've watched him do it several times. It's hard. I want to lose 500 people.
Well, it's a matter of, you know, we are some of the last folks still standing on YouTube for whatever reason after watching a lot of our favorites and that get purged here in the recent weeks. It is tough to watch, and some channels, yes, have benefited as a result. People, you know, jump in and subscribe thinking, all right, well, this is the next best thing. And we've watched our subs go up. But at the end of the day, if you can't say what you need to say and you're being hassled or your speech is prohibited and you're being shellacked with view counts and viewership and everything else, is it really worth it to stay on a platform that makes you unhappy? And so the question then becomes, all right, do we jump to other platforms where we've established ourselves? And yeah, we'll take a little bit of a hit, but we're a lot more free. And so on one hand, you could say, yeah, we've got 10,000 subscribers here. We've only got 1,000 over here. But if you can say what you need to say and people are more appreciative of it on a platform with less viewers, less subs, et cetera, then to me, the choice is a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I think they're like, if staying here on this platform is going to force us to censor ourselves, that kind of betrays the original purpose for digital soldiers doing what they do, and that is to fight the narrative and get the truth out there, regardless of whatever censorship you're going to face. So it's like, we probably do have to have that conversation. Do we stay here or do we just go full out with these other platforms that are being welcoming to our movement? At least it's a lot to think about, and I would say maybe both, right? Like whatever we can get away with here we'll do, and then everything else, right, do it on the other platforms.
Yeah, and I understand folks that are saying, DLive is buffering and drops and this, that, and the other. Folks asking about Cloud Hub as well. There's caveats and nuances to each and every one of these platforms, obviously. Again, as you heard me state, throughout the show earlier, not a lot of streaming options out there. Are there more to come? Absolutely, but we aren't there yet. So we do have to overcome some of the technicalities on these various platforms. I can probably guess that DLive did not anticipate that various channels were going to migrate over there, what is largely and inherently a gaming platform. And look at the audiences that we're drawing over there compared to some of the regular channels, let's say. So chances are, if this continues, they will probably have to up their game and open up some bandwidth and everything else, just like any other platform would likely have to do as well, whether that be Twitch, whether that be pilled.net. First day, I think, what was it? Woke Societies was on there after the day of said purge. They tried to pile in about 3,000 people over there, and dear God, you couldn't hardly get in with all the buffering and stuff going on. So it's going to be a big deal for any sort of startup to try and handle the level of audiences that we bring because of the information that we bring. So bear with us. It's going to be some growing pains we'll have to go through. We'll shoot, move, and adapt and communicate. We'll go from there.
Yep. And I saw somebody out there in the YouTube chat making a great point, and that is, if we leave this platform, then what message does that send to this platform, right? They're going to think that they won, right? That's what they want. They want to banish us from this platform. And then the same thing with Twitter too. Like, who told us we have to stay in the front lines, right? We cannot retreat from the digital battlefield because of the censorship. We have to keep finding ways to come back, and we have to find ways to keep in the fight. Because the fact of the matter is, most people, if you ask them if they've ever heard of DLive or even like Periscope or Twitch, they have no idea what you're talking about unless maybe they're a gamer, right? But everyone knows what YouTube is. Everyone knows what Twitter is. Everyone knows what Facebook is. These are the front lines because that's where the most people are, right? That's where we can reach the most people.
Yeah, that's true, and it's one of those situations where I'm torn with what the drops have said in the past versus my own experience because of this. Number one, it takes a lot of energy to do what you do. At the end of the day, to create and put shows and inform the populace, but at the same time, one also has to recognize that centralization is not a good thing, because if people can be corralled into one spot, that means they can also be controlled. And so as this deal moves on, one of the big things that is likely going to have to happen, and we'll see this via social media and the various platforms, is a fair amount of decentralization. And it's going to be for the better. Yes, at the end of the day, you can't log on to one platform and go see all your favorites. You're going to have to do a lot of hopscotching around, et cetera, et cetera. But dear God, folks, think of the days when you used to actually have to go and bookmark all your favorite sites on your browser. You know, it didn't always used to be that, oh, you know what, I can go to Twitter, I can go to Facebook, I can go to Instagram and follow and get all my news there. No, we actually, back in the day, 20 years ago, when it was still a thing and browsers were still up and coming and getting better and better, we used to bookmark our favorite sites and then we'd go click our bookmarks. Well, guess what? We may have to resort ourselves back to doing that very same thing here in the near future.
Yeah. It is. I know it's tough. Like I said, I know a lot of people. Q said, "Whoa." I said, "There you go, Spectre." He's hilarious. And listen, I get all there's Blonde Beauty fam. I've met so many great people. I swear, D Live. Like I hate to keep like gushing about it, but if you've seen where I've been the last 3 days, like these people like Go Dog Go and like Light, what's your name? Oh, I've met so many people. Light something, I don't know. Thumper's been in there, Sue's G and stuff like that. They're just hilarious. Puppy Cat's always been an OG in D Live, so I'm telling you, it's kind of like my awakening. Oh, there's Esther. She's over there from Holland. Got her pulled out of chat when she was with 412, but it's just fun. I don't know. People just laugh and we have a good time. But like Pinata said, he said a lot of people like YouTube because I think he said it's easier on your mobile maybe app. And I understand that. I get it. I don't know if there's a Breaking would know more about that. Light Switch Stumper, but there's another person, Light something, Lite, I think. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I try to remember names, but sometimes I fail.
Mama Tron Q says 5x5. You guys looked into UG YouTube. We have, and I talked about that a little bit ago here when we were giving accolades to Dead Cat. That again, it's a matter of platforms that do straight uploads versus streaming. Not everybody does both, like YouTube. So to that end, there are a number of us who have archived our stuff over there, myself included. You can find all of my shows and that archived over on UGE2, but it is not a streaming service. So those who do live shows like us, like WTPI, like Soapbox, like Woke Societies, and various other folks, we don't have as many options to play with when it comes to actual live streams. Everybody can do an upload and put it anywhere. They can put it on Rumble. They can, like I said, put it on Air TV. They can put it on a number of sites. Brighteon is another good one that Mike Adams started. Was originally called Real.video back in 2016 during the election season back then, when both him from Natural News as well as Alex Jones from InfoWars were basically blackballed. You couldn't hardly find their information via Google searches and anything along those lines. And so at that time, Mike Adams from Natural News started up this site with a bare bones minimum budget of about $1 million and wanted to see how far he could stretch his dollars to get done what he wanted to do. And in the coming months of him and his folks developing Real.video, they later subsequently changed their name to Brighteon.com, have stuck with that platform. And there are thousands of contributors over there that is a free speech platform. However, they quickly realized, too, that because of bandwidth and because of cost and things like that, it would be a cost-prohibitive measure to try and turn themselves into yet another YouTube where you can do both streaming and uploads and all of that. So they have stuck with that particular platform as is. And again, kudos to those who want to jump in this game and want to try and develop the technology to be able to do streaming and TV related type stuff for when we do live shows like this. It does take cost and servers and bandwidth and all of that stuff. And that's my tech piece for the day on that.
Well, and I've been dropping the links for our YouTube. Shout out to Dutch, who's helped me tremendously with that. When we were, I'm going to be careful here. When we were, our comms were taken down, let's just say, and mine were in 3 times. I lost mine twice in 4 days. And I had built places. I had built the 5x5 server. I had the cross country one, dumped all my research, all the stuff about wanting to cover slavery. I had so much information. I had a server from way back in the very beginning of the soapbox days where I had all my books dropped, stuff like that. I lost all of that. I even lost the server where all the hosts and stuff, what we were communicating were for shows. It's gone. And then the last room, I don't even want to mention it. Let's just say I have a couple people in there, and if it weren't for them, couldn't even launch this the way that we launch it. And you're looking at two of them right now. Myself, have no way of launching my own channel on my own. They both will tell you right here, I don't. And the person that did all the work in creating it, shout out again to Bird. He's in Ireland right now. When he gets back, he's going to try and help us fix it. But if I didn't have the team that I have here, which is the host that I have, I would not have the ability to do this. Now, they have the ability, like Breaking said, to do uploads or go live whenever they want to, and they have more access to it than I do right now. And so, I rely on these guys, and they've been nothing but, great to me and stepping up and, being around. Like, I can't change that banner. I can't do anything. I can't throw in a lower third. I can't change this thing. I can't do any of it. And so, but we're going to make it. We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. And so that's why I played that from Deckhead earlier, the armor of God. Sometimes it's good to remember that and play that and listen to it. And this is supposed to be our challenge, folks. This is supposed to be our hell on earth. This is where we're tested, right? This is where we're supposed to be tested. And we're supposed to try to do the right thing. So we're going to be tested. Oh, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, we still got about 15 minutes.
Yeah, just going to mention the headline here. Comes from the Epoch Times. Utility cuts power to 26,500 Californians over wildfire risk. What is going on here? Since when do we have to cut power to stop wildfires from happening? It just doesn't make sense to me. How is homes being powered causing wildfires? What's the deal?
Climate change, my friend, don't you know? Newsom says climate change is the problem. Come on, buy into the Kool-Aid, dude.
This is it pains me every day to see in these democratically run states that they're turning their states into like third world freaking level stuff. It's dystopian third world country style bull crap. And people still don't see it. People that live in those states, maybe not, but the people that are staunchly on the left, they seem to have no problem with this, right? It's freaking, I can't even wrap my mind around it. Like they're openly accepting tyranny like it's the best thing since sliced bread. I cannot understand this.
Well, that's Agenda 21, Agenda 2030 for you. I mean, at the end of the day, they want everybody piled into cities where everybody can be tracked from top to bottom from your DNA to every single purchase, every single trip you make via cameras, via your tracking device, aka your cell phone, and a whole bit. And so what better way to do that than to depopulate certain areas that, they can't necessarily control and try and get people to move out of those areas into cities. Well, the only problem is that a lot of people are seeing the tyranny going on in California with their corruption and everything else and moving out to places like Idaho and Texas, and now turning those states into crap holes as well. And the various cities are moving to, bringing their policies and poor ideas with them. But the point being that Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and that wants everybody piled into cities, nice and neat, nice and compact, and everybody can be controlled. And what better way to do that than to say, oh, let's cut power and we'll call this quote unquote climate change. They've got all these policies and that already baked in at your local governments and that they've infiltrated, just like our posts say, infiltration throughout, and that continues to this day. And it also helps that PG&E is controlled by the likes of, like Rothschilds as investors and everything else. So there's that.
Yep. We've got some more breaking news, this time coming from President Trump's Twitter. He says, congratulations to Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev, who just agreed to adhere to a ceasefire effective at midnight. Many lives will be saved. Proud of my team at Secretary Pompeo and Steve Biegun and WHNSC for getting the deal done. So a ceasefire between Azerbaijan and Armenia. So that's some good news there. Also, Tori Gem just told us here that Laura Trump is calling us to prayer. Soko, you want to go ahead and say a little prayer?
I know you go for it. Breaking's the best one for prayer.
Is he? I'm very bad at ad-libbing prayer. So one of you guys go ahead.
Breaking's great at it.
What is she calling us? What is she calling us to prayer about?
Yeah, Tori Gem, can you let us know? What is she asking for prayer
about?
In
chat?
And thank you guys for the lemon parade over in D Live, by the way. I really do appreciate it helping me build that back up. I'm on a budget. I promise. I'm on a budget. I told Upper Rose we're budgeting ourselves.
Lemon budget.
I am. I have to be. You've seen what I've done, Breaking.
Yeah. Soko is now not going to fly under the 5x5 banner. She is going to go on her own and realize that you cannot spend what you do not have. Quickly.
It's been bad. But listen, I think it comes back to you. It's the same thing that Pixels is talking about us in prayer. I think if I go do that in the other channels and to show support to them, especially 412, and he'll understand too when I'm like, listen, dude, you know what I mean? Then I've kept up with it. So I think it comes back to you, right? You practice what you preach. You do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And I'm trying to live by that. And it's all good. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're going to stay who we are. And that's why I think it's a good time for. It's just kind of funny that Pixel said it's a good time for prayer. And a little known fact about you is you can probably quote scripture better than most people I know. And most people don't know that about you. Boom.
She's saying, Lara, how about masks? Why everyone accepted it so easy? Yeah, I think a lot of folks probably still have blinders on, and a lot of people continue to believe what the people on TV with no authority whatsoever continue to push and propagate and propagandize and everything else, lie by omission. And it's just like we talked about, Pixels and myself here just a minute ago. We do have a large portion of the populace who continue to believe what is being spewed out of the boob tube. It is called programming for a reason, because you are indeed being programmed. You're on their frequency. And until people figure out how to break that cognitive dissonance, learn to research for themselves and break the habits and norms and that they have developed over the years just because it's either easy and or convenient. They have no idea that this other world exists where the information is free flowing and there are people who actually do speak the truth to power.
Absolutely.
And by the way, it's Russian Bot's 50th birthday. I got to give that shout out because Martin just said it. Russian Bot's 50th birthday. Woo! Where's my bell? Hang on. I know I got a bell somewhere. Oh.
I think he retracted his message. Maybe he didn't want that out there.
Oh, never mind. It's not his birthday.
Take it back. We'll take it back.
And by the way, Calvin, let me say this really quick. He said, are we archiving the shows here? I had to get to this level. D-Live is achievement based. That's why I was pushing to get to that 1,000, which thank you again, guys, for helping me do. And so then I've had to put in to get, I think it's preferred, isn't it, Breaking or something? They said they're going to do that for me on the 31st of this month. And so I'm just going to keep trying to push and to get those achievements in D-Live to be able to do stuff like that. Like I think the 1,000 allows me for y'all to get badges. Like if you go to We the People, you see it says Insider, and like PSB has like a Patriot, I think. So you have to help. You guys will help me come up with the tag for us over here.
Yeah, you guys can, as part of that rank up, if you will. That's what I'll call it on D Live, real quick. couple things it does for the various folks who follow. Number one, it allows you to actually subscribe for several months if you wish, month, 2 month, 3 month, year, whatever. You're more than welcome to do that. It affords you the ability to get extra stickers, badges, all that good stuff in chat. And it also allows you to bypass some of the controls in that we periodically have to put on chat. Like the other night, we were broadcasting on WTPI the actual debate, and the chat was flying by so fast I had to slow it down, put about a 15-second delay on it just to be able to keep it from spinning like a top. But when you become one of those members, it allows you to bypass that as well, and you don't have to worry about your post and that being delayed because of what we have to do just to be able to see the stinking thing. So those are some of the benefits in that of upgrading, and it becomes even better once you get to the top rung as a global partner, as we're about to do on the WTPI side.
Yeah, it's all kind of achievement based there. You have to hit so many subs, you have to hit so many, which is cool in a way, and they don't like on YouTube side, like Google AdSense, like they'll take out 30% off the top immediately and stuff like that. Where DLive, I don't think they're not anywhere near that bad. So I mean, lemons are cheap, okay? They are, and that's great. I mean, that even makes it possible for people that say only have $1.54 to their name, well, $1.54, let's say budgeted for their favorite channels, they still get 88 lemons. Like I can make a lemon parade doing that. Like you ask people that know me in the DLive chat right now, I have done it. Or we just constantly throw them in there. And again, that's where I have to be careful. I ain't gonna lie. I gave 412 like 4 Ninja Guineas one day. That was and I was just trying to, Brecken's like, you better stop. And so I've budgeted out of myself because I really want to be fair here, but it is achievement based. Same thing with Twitch. You can get bits, and I still haven't figured out how you turn on your Twitch to get bits. I don't know how you do that. I wound up buying bits, trying to figure out how to turn our bits on, but I think that you also have to become a preferred Twitch member. That is kind of the same way DLive runs. But it is what it is. I'm hoping with enough time, if you guys maybe click over there and check it out and realize it's not as bad, or go to Twitch where it is. There's not as many as emojis. See, there's a lot of people going over to Twitch too. So that's encouraging. See these people over here that's jumped into Twitch. That's awesome, guys. Thank you. There's 15 people now in Twitch. And so we'll have to keep up with how I watch the chats. Maybe one of us can each go into each chat room and make sure we're a presence there, have one mod in each chat room or whatever. And so see, and then we got DLive going. See, there's another diamond. Thanks, guys. It's awesome. See, these are just hilarious. That freaking running one. Have you ever seen the music set to that freaking Antifa dude running with the fire on his feet? I think I was in here one day. I laughed. I replayed that thing. I am not lying, at least 15 times. And what I do right now, if I could get all you people over there, is that flipping Biden song that Sideshow Bob came out with. I do that. I get pushed 412 to play that at the end of every one of his DLives, and we go over there and look at these lemons. I mean, look at the lemon parade. That's what I call it. I've named that the lemon parade because it's just all you see is just, you don't even see the emojis, just people dropping you lemons, and it's just, I don't know. It's so sweet. It's so kind. And I get it. I get it, though. People listen, I was attached to YouTube, just like I thought President Trump was going to burn us all down. Everybody has to take their time for a learning curve. I'm just encouraging you guys to go over here and subscribe, please, or Twitch, because there's no guarantee, guys. There's no guarantee how long we're going to be here. And that's the truth. And I don't want to lose you people. I don't want to lose you. You 438 people in here right now. I don't.
Claire Passerix, what does keck mean?
You're crazy. What does keck mean?
And of course, I see the answers rolling through. It's got a lot to do with what used to be the Chan culture now turned, depending on which board you're on, either 4chan, 8chan, 8kun, whatever. But the little green frog in that, Pepe, obviously has got a little laugh about him, and it's usually like so. So yes, it does mean LOL.
Yeah.
Can everybody out there and everyone's hearing that echo now.
On my side. Laura likes to leave her sound on.
Up. I'm just listen. I'm trying to share D Live this whole time so people can see like the people having fun in there. I'm hoping that if I expose them to it, they'll be like, that don't look like too bad of a place. Let's go check it out. And I'm sorry. Yes, I forget to not share my sound, but I just again, if we want to play music and stuff, it's like that song. I don't have to worry about it over here. Echoes of all of you. Oh no. So does it echo for you, the audience? Because they don't echo for me.
Yes.
Echoes for
it's
everybody.
Absolutely annoying.
It's not doing it now. Oh, I know it annoys you. I love pixels.
Does your Zoom just automatically share your audio? Is that the problem?
No.
Like you have to turn it off every time?
Yeah, I have to click it to share it. You know how it is. Then I would find you even. Oh, Kip True said I would find you even if you hid in a sleepy cellar. Okay, but yeah, I have to. I remember to unclick it. And I forget to do that sometimes. But
all the time. But
and see, Breaking gives me so much grief because he's like my sidekick brother or something because we come on air so much. And Pixels is still like, hey Soko, your audio shared. And I'm like, oh thanks, so sweet. And Breaking's over there like, stop sharing your audio, Soko.
Yeah. Whatever.
Say a prayer. You haven't said a prayer yet. I can't get off your eye. Sorry, I love you, D Live. Okay, I love you, D Live. I love my D Live family. I love you too, YouTube. Please don't think I don't love you guys as well. I do. I really do. But I'm scared. I don't want to lose you guys. I don't.
Just facing, the whole movement right now is facing a lot of uncertainty when it comes to, what platforms we're going to be able to do this stuff on. And I think it kind of blindsided us when it happened, and we didn't have things planned out as much as we could have. So we're kind of in disarray and scrambling and trying to figure out, what can we do to make sure that we can keep doing this stuff and getting the message out there and fighting the narrative. And so, it's there was a drop that said, we might have to, end up on platforms that we don't necessarily like or prefer. And that's just the way it is. And I saw someone out there, saying like, they don't like the stickers because it seems childish. They don't like the GIFs or whatever. I get it. And you don't have to use those. Like you can still chat normally on DLive chat. And I think at some point, people will just get bored with the stickers maybe. And, I don't know, but it's just, we're all in this together in this movement. We're all facing this problem right now with the censorship. And we have to find ways to get around it. And not all of us are going to like everything about the platforms that we end up on. And that's just the way it is. We can't.
And I'm sorry, but listen, the stuff that goes on here in this world is hard. Okay, we talk about some really heavy stuff. And I'm sorry, but those gifts sometimes crack me up when I need it. Yeah. Somebody like this freaking gift right here. I mean, that's funny. Look at this one. I'm sorry. They crack me up. Look, Trump dancing. Sometimes we need to laugh, okay? Before Breaking sends us out with a prayer, I've got to give a shout out to these people that have been awesome with us in DLive today. Anon Mojo, MTC, Super Tad, I know that's him. Mikey D, Trump Be Cool, Chloroquine. I see all you guys in 412 chat, so I know you people. Salty, Sea Biscuit, I've seen you too. Thumper Rose, he cute. He poor things get shoved out of a helicopter, most in Apache helicopters more than anybody I've ever seen. And Tony Ann, okay, thank you. And then you gave them the shout outs here, right? Because see how I lose it? I think Breaking called you out. And guys, you can't do nothing over here on Twitch yet. I can't. I got to figure out the bits thing. We got to get a bunch more subs over here or something. I think that's the deal. It's the same thing as D Live. You got to get your sub count up. But with that, I'm going to shut up. I'm sorry. I love D Live. I think D Live's hilarious. Okay. The more time I spend in there, the more I find it freaking hilarious. But again, I love my YouTube folks too. I do. I appreciate you all being here.
Yeah, regardless of where you guys are at, we appreciate that you're watching. That's
I just don't want to lose them. I'm just scared one day we're going to vanish like everybody else did, and then we're going to lose them. Honestly, that's what it is.
I mean, I think if that happens, it's gonna give people a kick in the butt to get to kind of go to those other platforms. I mean, look what happened with WTPI. He had like 5,400 viewers on his D Live the other day. It was amazing.
I know. Well, look at the big ones like Red Pill and stuff. They're gonna have to.
Yeah, just look. What people don't understand is you can't believe the numbers coming out of YouTube, whether it be subscribers, whether it be view counts, views after upload, any of that stuff. They're gaming everything using AI against us to do a major psyop against the contributors and folks net who do the stuff that we do. And it's meant to kick us in the nuts at the end of the day and make us think that we're not on a winning side, because it's part of their strategy. We know better. We know when we see other platforms, immediately when we shut the switch off to YouTube and say, bye, Susan, bye, Felicia. And all of a sudden we jump over to the other platform, and right off the rip, we've got 3,500 people watching when we only had about 1,500 on the other side. What does that say? We know we're being gamed. The question is how long have we been gamed? Many of us believe that probably starting back in January 2019, when certain algorithms were put in place and that behind the scenes, a lot of channels saw a lot of major discrepancies in numbers and things behind the scenes, and analytics and trends and things of that nature that we all usually watch behind the scenes after the camera is off. But this has been going on for a very long time. It's been ratcheting down tighter and tighter, and they're trying to use the speech police and 1984-isms and wrong think and everything else against us. And it's an uphill battle. It's tough to maintain position behind enemy lines, but yet here we are. We're still standing at this point. We will continue to stand. But if we want to ensure that we have free speech, we're going to have to make the jump over to the other platforms and use them judiciously and capriciously, both. So that's kind of the strategy in a nutshell at this point, and we'll find and develop other platforms. Look, we've got over 50 million people who have filed first-time unemployment as a result of all this COVID stuff. We got a lot of damn smart people sitting on the sidelines, twiddling their thumbs, collecting benefits from the government, or perhaps not. Very, very smart people in all walks of life that have done a myriad of things, from IT to being lawyers to financiers to carpenters, builders, and things of that nature. If you want to build something, let's take out Silicon Valley and the banksters and develop something that is beneficial to all. That's my parting word for today, is that we have a lot of smart folks who can put their minds together and build something fantastic. Far exceeds what we're having to live with today. And we don't have to live on these platforms. We're not trapped by them. We're not oppressed by them. We have options to move in, around, and through them. And that's what we need to do.
100%.
Exactly.
MAGA T Bigley out there made this comment a while ago, and I hope that they're still out there. They said, someone talked me off this ledge 1 week before election. Millions have already voted. Still no HRC emails, no Ghislaine testimony, and no Wiener laptop. What was the past 3 years all about? Well, you're wrong on the Ghislaine Maxwell testimony that did just come out. They rolled out the transcript of that on the court listener site. I think actually I've got the link. And also, we didn't get the Wiener laptop, but we got the Hunter Biden laptop, and look at what's coming out from that. Also, millions of people are already voting, yeah, but don't pay attention to the polls. Look at the crowd sizes. Look at the rallies. Compare Joe Biden's rallies to President Trump's. When you look at those two things, it becomes very clear that I think that we have it in the bag for this election, as long as everyone votes As long as everyone who wants to vote for Trump is going to vote for Trump, then we're going to win, guys. So don't let your heart be troubled. But with that being said, I want to go ahead and let Breaking Spectre do his little parting prayer for today.
And thank you, Tori Green, for the $10 super chat and YouTube. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for all the lemons and recouping that for me. And we're going to start doing more on D-Live, too, regardless. We've got to. I hope all of you choose to follow us over there in Twitch. Just sub. Hang out here with us as long as we're here. Be here. But don't be shocked if we start wanting to cover content we know we can't, and we switch over to there. We love you, but there's things we want to cover we just can't do here in YouTube. We have to do over there. And so with that, I'm going to shut up. And after breaking's done, I'll let y'all take us out. Okay. So bye, guys. I'm going to say bye now and let his prayer end us all. Cut it sound right. Not end us all, but take us out. Yes.
Whoa. Sounds so final.
I know. I was like, wait a minute, that didn't come out right. And listen, everybody have a lovely Sunday. We are here, guys. We are here. And by the way, Dude Talks did another video. If you've not seen it, check it out. He's doing a great job. Pinata's coming. I will let Pinata do what he needs to do his first one. And Pixels put out another Stormwatch last night. And y'all, the comment section below his videos are amazing. The feedback he gets, and I know he appreciates it as well.
Big time. I'll tell you a little secret. I recorded that damn thing like 5 times last night. I kept running into problems over and over again, and I was getting so mad. So a lot more work went into that than and time than you guys think. So all that positive feedback and just the great comments on that video really made my night and my morning. So thank you guys.
Mm-hmm. And we got chapter 8 of the Chaos book. I mean, I think me and Breaking might do a little bit more of that, or because it seems like y'all appreciated it. So it was fun for us to do. It was late and it was long, but that's coming out too. Breaking cut it in half, and we made it to 2 videos. Thank God for him, because I do not do video editing. So, all right, now we're shutting up. Go ahead, Breaking. He's like, am I ever going to get to pray?
Let's close this out here. So, Father, I thank you for who you are, a God of mercy, a God of grace, renewed every day. We love you for who you are. Father, we just come before you humbled here today, that we get to bring these bold words before our audience. Father, you tell us that we ought to speak boldly as we ought to speak, and that's exactly what we'll do here from here forward, regardless of the platform and that we're on. Father, you've given us a spirit of boldness and not of fear. And who shall we fear but you alone? Father, I just pray a blessing over each and every person in our audience here today, that they be blessed until we meet again here on this channel or any other channel in which we congregate. Father, I just, again, thank you for who you are. I thank you for your loving kindness, and just even pray a blessing over those who try and come against us, Lord. I just pray that the Spirit be poured out across this land, that their eyes be opened, that their ears be made to hear the truth and receive it boldly. And so I just thank you for all these things through Christ Jesus, our Lord and only Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen and amen.
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 Very good.
You got the controls. Have a good night, guys. Who's going to do it? It's got to be one of y'all. I can't do it.
I'm going to keep doing this until it goes away.
I know. Which one? Y'all have to do it. Is it not working? Oh, this is going just as planned.